What up, those sports fans? Welcome to another episode of AwwDacity Sports. It's your boy J2DaR, and we are back with your guys' favorite, and I do mean favorite, co-host of all time, Miss NikkiC, y'all.
What up, y'all?
And we back to give you guys these hot topics. But before we start, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, right? So that way you get all the notifications every time we upload a show. Appreciate you guys so much for doing that. Miss Nikki, what's first?
All right, so the Cleveland Indians have named Shedeur Sanders QB1 for the rest of the season.
Well, not they had a real choice, now did they?
Right. But the ownership just gave Coach Prime full access to the practice facility and locker rooms. Is the ownership looking to hire Coach Prime?
I would say yes, and Kevin Stefanski, you better run. Either you better look at the writing on the wall or read the room or do something, whatever everybody say to you, right? Whatever it is that you do to understand what's going on, right? Whether it's read between the lines, read the room, read the locker room, do something. But what I do know is if my player's daddy showed up to practice in a Rolls Royce
and a double R and
a full-length chinchilla
with an apple cap on,
and got access to the practice facility, and got the seat, and to talk with the owners, and the owners were completely
cool and they laughing and kikiing, and they just walking through the facility like, you would show an incoming coach.
That's what it's feeling like to me, and this might be the one time. This might be the one time I don't even want to say the word, but it wouldn't feel like nepotism, but okay. Because here's why. I feel like Shedeur plays well under his dad. Kevin Stefanski, his whole job was to sink this young man. He's not even giving him a real chance. At least we know Prime is going to give him an A1 shot at being great. That's what I truly feel about this. So, would this help Cleveland in multiple ways?
Oh, hell yeah.
Because not only do you get Shedeur Sanders, the QB that y'all want for y'all future, that y'all say y'all want for you get Coach Prime there in Cleveland.
Do you know what that does for the morale of that city?
You know, man. You know how many players are going to want to come over there and play for Coach Prime? Right. Like players did for when they went to when he played for when
Jackson
he had coach at Jackson State, and then he went to Colorado, right? You know, key defensive backs are going to want to play for Prime, and I'm okay with this. Fortunately, I just hope none of them come from the Lions.
This is all alleged. This is nothing confirmed, but
I mean, rumors already on the street that they want Stefanski up out of there after this season.
Well, they also trying to drag Prime down, saying that things are not working out for him in Colorado,
and that's exactly what we need to happen. Go ahead and let Prime walk. You know what? It ain't working out in Colorado.
Yeah.
He had one season since his son left. You know what? It ain't working out. You're right. So what? Who cares? One crappy season. You know what? You know what's going to work out for him?
As the kids say, whoop-de-doo.
You know what's going to work out for him, man? In the NFL where he belongs. And what's also going to be funny about this whole situation? If he does get hired by the Cleveland Browns, and he turns this franchise around, and he make it to the playoffs, make it past the first round, you know who's going to look stupid? You know the one team that's going to look stupid because they had the opportunity to hire Prime, and they were just like, nah, we good. Oh yeah, I'm taking every shot. I'm taking another shot at them jokers, and here's why. He still won't answer the phone. So the Cowboys had the opportunity
to hire Prime. Say nothing.
And they said no. They fucked up. So this is what's going to happen. Prime gets hired. Kevin Stefanski gets fired this offseason. I am doubling down on that one. right? Stefanski gets fired. Prime gets hired. Cleveland Browns make the playoffs that season, that next season, make it to the second round and probably lose, but at least they make it to the playoffs. That's where I'm at with this whole Cleveland thing. Again, you want to shake some things up? This is how you do it. We already seen how Kevin Stefanski damn near. He sunk the game last week when again he pulled Shedeur Sanders out.
Oh yeah, and Myles Garrett was pissed about that. He was mad. He was like, enough is enough of doing this, and let this man lead this team the way he needs to lead it, because they almost came back and won the damn game again.
So the Cleveland Browns play the Chicago Bears Sunday at 1 p.m. Right? On 12/14 at 1 p.m. Guess who I'm rooting for?
Oh, I'm going for the Cleveland Browns.
The Browns. Let's go Cleveland. Right?
This will be a big win. Yeah, this will be a big win for Shedeur.
Y'all know what it is. You know I ain't got no love for y'all. So if you got a problem with it, man, you know what? Meet me in the comments. I ain't scared of y'all punks. You see the OG shirt on today? You know, I'm giving this original gangster wisdom on. What y'all talking about? Try me if you want. Miss Nikki, what's next?
Well, on Thursday Night Football, or AKA, the Hood Classic, the Falcons beat the Bucks by 1 point. ATL, ho.
Yikes. So the Hood game actually turned out to be the Hood Classic as it always is.
Yeah, it's always good.
You can always bet that this is going to be a good game. First of all, if the Bucks would have won, they would have had an 88% chance to clinch the NFC South. But by them losing, they only got like a 55% chance now.
Right, yeah, because Carolina's at the top now.
This is crazy. Who would have thought that freaking Carolina Panthers?
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk?
Travis may be the only person. Yep, Travis, you're getting a shout out today, brother. You know what? There's another person. Travis and Christy Thompson may be the only two people that watch my show, right? That are avid Carolina Panthers fans. They're like, yo, when we gonna get some love? Well, guess what, guys? Here's your love. I'm tired of y'all getting in my DMs talking crap to me about, oh, well, my Panthers are better than what you say. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, the Panthers are on top of the NFC South.
You're on top of the NFC South by chance and luck right now. With the possibility that it can still be a toss-up between the Bucks. And if Atlanta gets a bunch of help, again, who knows the way the NFC South goes, they can lose the Bucks and the Falcons. I mean, the Bucks and the Panthers can lose the rest of their games. Even though the Bucks and the Panthers do got to play each other again.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's get down to this Bucks and Falcons game. Let's see what happened here. 29-28 was the final score. You had a press conference that was just like laced with cussing by Ty Bowles, because I'm pretty sure he know he finna get fired.
We're going to say that for another segment in the show.
He finna get fired. He fat. Look, you lose to Kirk Cousins, he fat.
Look, we gonna say that for another segment in the show.
So check this out. Kirk Cousins goes 30 for 44, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1 sack, with a QB rating of 117.0. Wow. Good job, Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan Robinson had 19 carries for 93 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 fumble loss, with Tyler Algier, who carried the ball 2 times for 18 yards and 0 touchdowns. See, I knew I'd be better not to draft that dude in fantasy football. I knew what I was thinking. Oh, let's see what these receivers did for Kansas City. My man Kyle Pitts shows out. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
12 targets for 11 receptions. Wow. He
got up.
He only dropped 1. He definitely got up.
That's why I say he got up for this game.
166 yards, and he caught every touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Look, Mama and them sitting at it's the Hood Classic. You already know.
Wait. You telling me Kyle Pitts caught every touchdown? Was Drake London hurt? Because I'm curious by this. Because I don't even see Drake London on here on the thing. So Drake London must be hurt. Okay. Mooney got 6 targets with 3 receptions. Robinson got 11 targets with 8 receptions. Wow. Every touchdown went to Kyle Pitts. That's what's up.
He got up for this game.
Let's see what happened on Tampa's side. Let's see what Baker Mayfield did. I mean, he was a little bit injured coming into the game. So Baker went 19 for 34, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 5 times. That is the Baker Mayfield way. Either he's throwing touchdowns, he's either throwing some touchdowns and having great games, or he's throwing interceptions, or he's getting sacked a bunch of games. Pick a Baker. This is what he do.
That's the Baker they ended up with.
Then I also seen that they called back 2 of Bucky Irvin touchdowns, which was totally disgusting.
Oh yeah, they were talking about the officiating.
Man, the officiating was very sketchy.
It was very sus.
I mean, I understand we was in Atlanta and we got all these scandals going on, but
you know they scamming Bam.
That game, the officiating made it look very, very sketchy. And I know Arthur been a good guy, and I don't think Arthur was going to pull out the checkbook allegedly. Like we know somebody do on the regular every time to make their seasons go great. That would be Jerry Jones.
Well, his checkbook don't be cashing.
Yeah, his joints be bouncing. They be bouncing.
His checks be bouncing.
When you pay the rest, allegedly. Right? Let's go see what else they got going on for the receiving side. Oh, guess what? We had a Mike Evans sighting. He did return, so that was good to see. Mike Evans had 12 targets for 6 receptions, so you knew that was going to happen. The rookie Mbuka had 7 targets for 4 receptions, which is good. So Mike Evans coming back didn't really cause him to lose that many targets, but Jay McMillan did lose some. He only got 2 targets and caught both of them. And then Chris Godwin was also back. So it looks like he had all his people. Only person I don't see on here was Otten. That's interesting. What really happened in this game? Was it officiating, or do you think the Bucks gave this game away?
I think the Bucks just gave the game away due to the coaching, because that's all I seen up and down my timeline is 5 Todd Bowles. They want his ass out of there.
So they want to blame it on the head coach.
Yeah, they want to blame it on the coaching.
I don't want to blame it on the coach, man, because I feel like this would have happened to anybody. And the truth of the matter is, I'm gonna say the things that nobody wants to tell the truth about. The truth is, Baker's a 3rd-tier quarterback, guys. He's 3rd tier. Y'all expecting him to win all these miraculous games is not going to happen, right? So at the end of the day, if you hate me for saying Baker's a 3rd-tier quarterback, meet me in the comments.
Yeah, you know the Bucks fans finna
look, man.
They feel away.
I know they're gonna feel some type of way, but they need to be honest with themselves. Hey, I feel like Jared Goff isn't a tier 1 quarterback. He's tier 2 too, but he's barely scraping here.
Yeah, he's hitting the threshold.
He's here.
Yeah, but he gotta win something. Like important shit.
Only reason why Jared Goff's not in that 3rd tier is because, again, 1, our record better, but then 2, Jared plays better than Baker. And he's consistent. Baker's consistently fucking up. Now tell me what I missed. I mean, my bad.
These Bucks fans finna
they're gonna be hot with me. They're gonna be hot.
They're gonna be mad.
They're gonna be hot, but guess who's gonna be happy? Atlanta fans, good job. I can officially start back with y'all again. Right? Question is, we got QB problems. Are we gonna stick with Kirk Cousins next year? Are we gonna stick with Michael Penix? What are we going to do? We know Kyler Murray is out there. Hell, we know Coach Prime could be available too.
Well, again, Raheem Harris. Morris, I'm sorry. Raheem
on the chopping block because his record sucked too.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Again.
Yeah, we have another segment. All right, moving on. All right, and what the fuck news? The Indianapolis Colts went and hired 44-year-old Philip Old Man Rivers to be their QB since Daniel Jones is gone for the season. How many games do you think they'll win since he hasn't played in 5 years? So damn, Philip. Now, back in the day, when I used to play parlay up there off of 16th Street.
Go ahead, tell on yourself.
I don't mean to tell on myself. But you know what? Philip Rivers used to win me a lot of damn money on Sundays because you could not count his ass out. But Philip, you've been out the game for 5 years. You sure you want to do this shit? What you think?
Do you know? I just seen this interesting stat, and it's funny as heck to me, right? So Philip Rivers ain't played in 5 years, which is diabolical to me.
Right. I mean, no touches, no nothing.
He retired. They could have called somebody else, and again, I'm gonna say the name that nobody else want to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 2 names that probably people don't want me to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Colin Kaepernick and Cam Newton.
Right. Well, at least with Cam, I do know he have touches because he got there with them kids now.
And Cap is still
doing his thing. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how Philip Rivers, who also ain't played in 5 years, gets a call before
other available quarterbacks.
I'm being controversial, y'all, because I got some questions. And this is what I'm going to do. But this is also funny. Madden makes a post on X that says, welcome back, Philip Rivers. You'll reclaim your NFL 2012 96 overall rating in no time. So basically, they rated him an overall 70. Trash. How many games you think I think he's going to win? 2?
If that.
2?
I want to see if he still got it.
Because all he's going to do is turn around and hand the ball off. Here's the thing. Look.
And Philip used to sling that thing. He used to be a slinger.
You're absolutely right. And check this out. In Philip Rivers last year, right? And Philip Rivers last year with the Colts, right? Philip started all 16 games. He attempted 543 passes, completed 369 for a completion ratio of 68%. He threw for 4,169 yards. His longest was 55 yards. He threw for 24 TDs, 11 interceptions, 200 first downs. Right?
But that's Indiana Colts, Philip Rivers. I'm talking about money making, go Chargers, go Philip Rivers.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that. I mean, because again, when he left the Chargers, that was in 2019. This next year, he played with the Colts and then retired right after that.
Yeah, he just straight up quit on the Colts. He said, enough of this shit. I'm out of here.
So, I'm saying you're going to get 2 games. You're going to get 2 wins with Philip Rivers. And that's even a stretch because I'm having a hard time saying that for a reason too. I just can't see them winning more than 2 games. You ain't been in the league for 5 years. Which means the dudes that you played 5 years ago, guess what? Got 5 times faster than what you used to play.
Well, some of the people he used to play against are still in the league.
And if they on the bench.
Yeah. That's true. They're not actively playing.
And not only that, Philip Rivers, you are a quarterback. You got a decent line, somewhat. Because again, you see Daniel Jones going for the season. I I think his was non-contact. He had the backup come in. He got blown up out of the water. He gone, right? His was actual full contact, right? So what makes me have any faith that the Indianapolis Colts is going to be able to protect the old ass man?
Hey, I think he in there on a workman's comp.
Wait. So you saying his pension wasn't kicking in? So you saying he going in for a workers' comp injury? That's fucked up.
Scamming and abandonment.
That's fucked up.
Allegedly, don't pay me no
Oh my god. Let me see him pull up his coach schedule real quick.
How many games they got left? Philip, come on now.
Oh my god.
I might play a parlay with you for old time's sake.
Oh my god.
But I think this is a whole open workman's comp claim.
It gotta be. It gotta be, man.
Because Philip, that 5 years ago, they much faster right now. You're 5 years older.
If they're faster, which means
Philip,
you got older, which means you're getting slower. What the fuck? This is why
that's why I said
what the fuck news.
That's why I said what the fuck news.
You think you slick.
That's why I said this is a open workman's comp claim. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so let's check this out. They got week 15. Who he's starting week 15, right? He's starting against the Seahawks, who got Jackson Smith and the Bengals, who finna ball out. Right? It's just finna be crazy. Then week 16, they got San Francisco. Defense is still kind of all right. They can still win games. I will take San Francisco in this game too. I'm also taking the Seahawks. In week 17, they got Mr. Sunshine, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars. Right? And then week 18, they got CJ Stroud and them Houston boys, who again found their swag.
They rolling right now.
Right? So out of them 4 games, Miss Nikki, how many do you got them winning?
Absolutely none of them. To be quite honest. Because Indiana, when they first came out, they was rolling this year. I ain't gonna front. They was rolling, and then the injuries start piling up, and
injuries happen. I mean,
and this is how we wound up with Phillip Rivers. So, best of luck to you, Phil. But
I mean, with all the players that could have been, you know what? Let's see. Now I gotta look. NFL free agent QBs. Let's see, because I got to see who's out here. I got to see. Whew, because this is just throwing. Who could?
They went and got old man Rivers. They said they don't trust nobody else but Philip. Hell, if we gonna go down the poop chute, the proverbial,
definitely something. Like, cause I really want to know who is the current 2025 NFL. There's no way. Phillip Rivers, who ain't played in 5 years. I should have checked and see how long since it's been since Cam Newton played.
Longer than that. I think Cam was out the league before Phillip was.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. At least by a year or two.
All right. Let's see who we got for. This was apparently posted 4 days ago. So let's see. Let's see who they put in here. Tyler Heineke. Nate Stubblefield.
Trash.
Clayton Tune. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Okay.
It's just like a whole heaping pile of burning trash.
Bryce Perk. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, Tyler NikkiC started 29 games, so
Still,
I would have taken Tyler NikkiC before I would have sided old man Rivers.
They said they rather trust they taking the rest of their season with Phillip Rivers than with anybody else that's out there. Because it's like I just said, it's a whole steep.
I mean, if they was gonna do that, they could have
fire-ridden pile of trash.
They might as well just ask Peyton Manning. They could have asked Eli Manning.
Right, they could have asked one of them to come back.
I mean, even though Eli ain't
Brett Favre, shit, they could have brought some.
Whoa! Did you just say Did you say Brett Favre, who was allegedly being
investigated? Oh, he wouldn't have made the
first game in the
well, I just told you this is a scam and a bam. This is a work.
This definitely finna be
a workman's comp thing. This is a scam and bam right here.
If this dude get hurt game one, I'm finna holler.
Yeah, this is a straight scam and bam.
I'm finna holler if that really happens.
Money is low. We need a check. So I'm finna come in here and put my body on the line. They're gonna mess me up, babe. But look, we gonna get that money.
Y'all couldn't ask Tom Brady to come out of retirement or some shit.
Look, Tom ain't finna come out of retirement for that. He too busy trying to be.
You got Phillip Rivers.
He too busy trying to be wannabe piece of GM over there at the Raiders. A piece of GM.
You couldn't ask Peyton. You couldn't ask his brother to do y'all solid. You couldn't ask Cam. You couldn't ask Colin. You couldn't ask Tyler. I can't wait till 4:00 today. This is on. I'm gonna have to go do a screen so I can watch this game and the Lions game. But I'm finna watch both, and I'm finna watch Phillip Rivers, who had less than a week of practice.
Hey, they gonna be trying to run out that pocket and get.
I'm waiting to see this man pull a hamstring.
I'm trying to tell you. Or maybe he might surprise us. You never know. So
surprise who? You just said they were gonna lose, so now you say they gonna surprise us?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Look, I'm with you. I'm just as intrigued, so I just want to know. Will he do a 3 and out?
The man got a Madden rating of 70. You know who else got a Madden rating of 70? Teddy Bridgewater. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, Teddy is working with the kids.
Stop this bullshit.
He's working with the kids.
We need to cut the madness, man. Miss Nikki, before we get to the next topic, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Because, man, if Phillip Rivers can come back and play, you know what? Let me put in the app.
I'm trying to tell you.
Let me go ahead and put in the app. Look, I can't run full court basketball, but I can still throw a football. Put me in, coach. And my actual job might have a problem, but take a leave of absence, everything cool.
So now we're gonna ask this question because we've been alluding to this particular segment. So now the question we have at AwwDacity Sports is, who is eliminated from the NFL playoffs by week 14, which is this Sunday?
Okay.
What teams didn't cut the proverbial mustard this year, and what does their race to the bottom benefit them in the draft?
So, first and foremost, the first team that's at the bottom will be the Tennessee Titans, and what benefits them from having a draft is probably having the number 1 overall
draft pick.
And the question is, can they find a wide receiver to come over there and help Cam Ward, right? They have a decent running back, or, again, maybe find some linemen to boost up that line to help them out. So that's what's going to benefit them. The race to the bottom for the Oakland Raiders, who've been eliminated, shit, it's easy. Firing Geno Smith and firing Pete Carroll ass.
Yep. That is a prediction. Go ahead.
The New York Jets, their only benefit, again, from falling to the bottom, again, is a top draft pick. You got to find a quarterback. The quarterback that you need is not Justin Fields, coach. You knew that when you took this job. Let's just be clear. But I understand you didn't want Aaron Rodgers. And I get it. Because look what he's doing in Pittsburgh. But you got to find you a quarterback. And if your hope is to go in here and understand that if the Raiders punt on the Heisman Trophy winner that just won from Indiana, if they punt on him, Jets, you better take him. Because that's your only hope. That is your best bet. Cleveland Browns, their race to the bottom is just to find help for Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah,
however they find it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be offensive line, they already got a tight end. Again, this offensive line, when the offseason, we're going to have a conversation. If you're in, you're buying in, and you're here to protect them. And next time I see one of y'all flop and miss it and leave the block open on purpose, you're out of here.
Yep.
You're out of here. Or do we find a wide receiver that can open this thing up for him? Because we already got the running back for him.
Mm-hmm.
We got the tight ends for him. We got two of them, actually, for him in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So can we get help over there? And again, the defensive side, well, we already see what the defensive side is. Myles Garrett is
killing them.
So, or do we bring something over to help Myles Garrett? I think you bring over something to help
Myles.
Mm-hmm. And no, you bring something over to help Shedeur, and then you bring something over in free agency, in the offseason to help Myles. That's where you pick up the help from Myles at. That was on the AFC side. On the NFC side, well, again, what's my favorite other team from up north? It ain't my favorite team, but y'all know what I mean. They were at one point in time. When they had my boy Cam Scatterbo, the New York Whites. I mean the Giants. My bad. 2-11.
Oh, the GM gone.
They already took the first part.
Mm-hmm.
They already did the first thing by firing the head coach.
Yeah.
Firing Brian Daboll. They're halfway there. Fired his GM. Apparently, y'all struck lucky because Jackson Dart may be able to do something. We're going to see. But that's only if he's paired with Cam. And I'm only saying that because Cam and Jackson and the wide receiver that they got over there that they drafted the previous year, they can actually do something. And the one thing I kind of like about Jackson Dart is he's a more athletic quarterback that ain't afraid to run. So I will give him credit when credit's due.
Yeah, because they were the combo there for at least the first 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I almost say 5 weeks. I think it was about 5 before somebody got hurt.
Yeah, Scatterbo got hurt.
Yeah, I think Scatterbo got hurt first. Yeah. And then, of course, you got the New Orleans Saints. Their hope is to race to the bottom. To draft Archie. If he ends up in the draft. Well, again, they have to because, again, they drafted Tyler Shough, their quarterback. And, again, I don't think they believe in him like that because, look at their record. They're 3-10. Again, you can't say he don't have any weapons. Well, you had Chris Olave. Again, things happen. So I think they punt the season. They're getting ready to tank. Arizona, their thing was they wanted to get rid of Kyler Murray and get a high draft pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they on the way to that.
That just seemed plain and simple. Washington fell in this column Arizona and not Arizona. The Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Commanders fell into this category by accident.
By not winning.
Because I truly believe Michael Penix was going to be able to win the NFC South.
Do something.
And the only reason why the Washington Commanders are 3-10
is because Jaden got hurt
earlier in the season. So they were a victim of circumstances, right? So I that's what I see there. So that's who's out by week 14. There's a couple teams that are on the bubble. On the AFC, there's the Colts who are 8-5. That's finna change, especially with Phillip Rivers there. But All right. You got the Baltimore Ravens, who are 6-7, which is crazy right now. We finally got to see the end of the Kansas City reign over there in AFC. Yes. I'll tell y'all why I'm celebrating later. That's a whole nother story. You got the Dolphins, who had a 4x4 track meet at one point in time.
Yeah, they had a 4x4.
They on the bubble.
Yeah, they had a 4x4 track team, and
scrambled egg brain came over there and damn near hurt everybody.
Yes.
So
that's demolished. Yeah.
And then I don't understand how the Cincinnati Bengals are on the bubble at being 4-9, but whatever. And then in the NFC North, you got the Lions on the bubble again, pending the outcome between how we play against the Bears. The Dallas Cowboys, again, playoff hope should have been shot when they lost to us. Carolina Panthers are holding on strong because, again, the NFC South is so weak. And again, I don't understand how the Minnesota Vikings are still holding on because, again, what we got going on versus the Bears and holding out that we beat up everybody else. So that's how this is playing out for teams who have been eliminated. And what I think people race to the bottom actually meant for some versus others. So we'll see how the end of the season is going to play out. But I do know for the Saints, I see y'all. I know y'all trying to go get Archie. Y'all finna pull the same thing y'all did with Eli and ain't playing for nobody but the Saints. I know what's finna happen. Watch. Mark my words. What's next?
The Detroit Lions have the Rams this week. Still banged up on the defensive side of the ball. Do you see any help coming in soon? Or do they need to find a free agent that can help there? I say find a free agent.
Well, the only thing we can do is find a free agent, but the problem is, man, I don't know who can help us right now, man. I mean, again, we got Harper out with a concussion. Kirby Joseph's out with a knee injury. Brian Branch is going for the season. It's going to be half the season with an Achilles tear. We are banged up to no end, right? Mm-hmm. And again, the only person who's injured from the Rams side is Devontae Adams, and again, they still got Puka Nacua over there, who again. Maybe we put Reed on him all day, so that way we ain't got to worry about nobody, and we walk away from this game, skate away from this game. But we'll see what happens. That game is also on December 14th at 4:30. So I'm going to be watching that game again, dual screen while watching the Cleveland game.
I guess we're gonna have like 4 screens on.
I'm gonna have to get in. Shout out to the. Man, shout out to the hookup, man.
To the hookup premium.
Man, look, I can give a shout out to my cable provider. There's somebody to say something. Anyway, so that's what I see. Dude, I don't think there's a free agent that I truly feel that's out there that can come in and that can fit in for us, because it's too late in the game, and I don't think it'll be worth it at this point. So let's just hope, right, we can get one of our defenses back before the end of the season. And whether that's Kirby Joseph or Harper, hopefully we get Harper back in a couple of weeks, because, again, he is with a concussion. So that's generally 2 weeks. And by that time, hopefully we can get Kirby back as well. Mm-hmm. This is one of those times where I truly miss Ife, because, again, Ife would have just fit perfectly back into the defense. And, again, we would have at least 2 solid cornerbacks or a cornerback and a safety where we really need it. So we'll see how this goes. Again, Matthew Stafford has been on a tear lately. But hopefully, and again, I am so tired of folks, I'm so tired of playing Rams. We ain't played the Rams this much until Matthew Stafford got there. So,
right.
Schedule people, do us a favor. Please make this the last fucking season that we have to play the Rams. We get it. We get it. We know y'all just want to throw this crap back in our faces because he got a ring when he went to the Rams the first year he got here. But guess who don't give a fuck? We don't.
And don't.
So according to these standings, like I said, the Rams are sitting at where are these jokers at? This is crazy. I can't believe we're playing these jokers again. This is back-to-back games. I mean, not back-to-back games, but continuously that they did this silly crap.
Oh, you know, it's yearly. They were in Detroit last year.
So they 10-3. They're 10-3. We 8-5, and we definitely need this win.
Mm-hmm.
We need this win. We need the Bears to lose, and we need the Packers to lose. Okay, we all in. Let's go. What's next?
In college football, the Michigan Wolverines football team has fired head coach Sharon Moore for the breach of contract. Also in his contract, he doesn't have a buyout clause. Why do you think that is?
Multiple reasons why he doesn't have a buyout clause. First one is they stuck it to him because of the Jim Harbaugh thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they stuck it to him because they wanted to make sure that they had some form of protections, which means if there were any kind of scandals, they didn't have to pay another coach. That's what I'm thinking. Because no other coach has never had a non-buyout clause for anything. Hell, John Gruden had a major NFL scandal, email scandal, and he got bought out when he got fired. So to say that he doesn't have, they made him sign this morale clause and he signed it. I get why he signed it because, again, it's a big prestige program. It's University of Michigan. You're getting the job handed to you. You ain't have to fight for it. It's given to you.
And he still messed it up.
And to see that he messed it up by allegedly threatening his side chick who was pregnant and white, and he's married to a white lady. I'm trying to figure out who told on who.
Well, the people say that he was being investigated anyway. He was being investigated
For what?
For this allegedly this on in office romance with his assistant manager. Okay. So, you know, with them being investigated, you know, a lot of things came out in this investigation.
So he gave his side piece a job.
Yeah, he gave his side piece a job. And then, you know, when things became a little bit, you know, a little stressful, you know what he did? And I think this is what's buried his ass. When he hired her at $53,000.
Okay.
When they started messing around and doing their little thing or whatever.
Okay.
He gave her a $40,000 raise.
Whoa.
She went
from 50 to 90?
$90K.
The skin off that boy.
Yes. Okay. So allegedly. So, you know, you back and forth, you know. Whatever she was doing, because the pictures, now we at AwwDacity Sports, you know, I went down the rabbit hole on this one. The pictures that you would see of her, yes, some of the pictures she looked like a normal white lady. And then some of the pictures she looked like a very light-skinned black woman, down to the Burmese curl in her hair, everything. So I don't know.
So you saying she was Rachel Dolezal?
She was cosplaying. I'm gonna just leave it like that. She was trying to be the black woman that he wanted her, to be at times. And I mean, in these pictures, I was like,
oh man,
okay, I see what's going on. But anywho, he had a morality clause in his contract, and then they don't want you fraternizing with with your employees.
With the kids.
Right. And then all the other stuff that happened, with the pregnancy and all of that, to the point when the shit was coming down around Sharon, he wigged out, went over to the girl house, broke off in her shit with a knife and said, "Look, I'm gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill you too."
Come on, man. You can't
But
be talking
the
about
person that really,
yourself
but
and
the
the other
person
person
that
because you got busted.
But the person that called, the girlfriend or the side chick called the police, but the wife is the one that tipped the police off because she said that.
Wait a minute. So the wife knew?
The wife found out. Of course, you're going to find out about the investigation. You got to come home and tell your wife and your 2 kids that, honey, it's going to be a scandal because I was messing with
my assistant.
With my assistant. And all these things are going to come out. And then I'm pretty sure she got heated because she a woman herself and I got 2 kids and I'm gonna be pissed off too. Like, you fucked up the bag. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't like getting those 9 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
Who can't live off of $9 million a year? In Michigan. You balling. You know what I'm saying? So you messed up the bag. So they probably got to arguing. He didn't got mad with his wife, ran out on his wife, then ran over there to that girl house, kicked down the door, and then said he was gonna kill himself and her ass too.
Allegedly.
That's what he got arraigned on. He got a felony and 2 misdemeanors on the same shit.
Whew. So not only did that kick off some stuff, right? So let me tell you what else they did. Because I just seen this report too, and this is just funny to me. So we lose our head coach, right? So, and this is how funny Michigan is playing this whole hiring process, right? Michigan is treating this hiring process like we hiring the Pope.
They got to at this time because
no. You got to understand what I mean. By treating the process like we hiring the Pope. They literally treating the process like we hiring the Pope. So I just read an article where on our scoreboard we got like a smokestack, right?
Oh yeah, when they get the smokestack to where they finalize who the Pope is and who the coach is, I don't blame them.
We actually finna do the same thing. So we're gonna have yellow smoke come out if we say no to a coach, and blue smoke come out if we agree to a coach. Why are we playing games with this? This is serious. This is serious.
Yeah, because your program hinges on this. I mean, the children gonna tear the goddamn portal up.
And we can't afford to lose none of what we got to the portal, right? I mean, again, Bryce Underwood can leave anytime he wants to because, again, there's no buyouts, which means he ain't losing nothing. Which means the people who he's in the NIL deal with ain't gonna lose nothing either if he leave. They don't have to pay him. So they're not taking this thing seriously. I also seen a report that John Gruden, the U of M,
Lord,
that's
no.
a heck no. That's not gonna happen. There's rumors Kelly Denham, which is possible. There's also rumors the offensive coordinator from Alabama, but again, they're getting ready to come into a game. But I just heard Jim Harbaugh said something about the Sharon Moore firing, so I'm gonna read that a little bit later. But this is a perfect primary example of
y'all ain't learned shit from Shannon Sharp.
You ain't learned nothing from Shannon Sharp, but then 2, don't date on the job. Don't do that. Like, just Just leave that totally separate. Just let that stay over there, right? Don't. And another thing, like, keep it in your pants, bro. Because again, you only went bananas because again, I'm pretty sure the side piece either left a message or called the main piece and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant."
Well, her daddy was letting that be known. The girl daddy was telling everything, everything.
So this dude done cost himself the bag. He's out of a job. Career over. I don't think you'll ever see him with another coaching gig anywhere. And that could even be with the Last Chance U students on Netflix. I don't think he can get a job with them.
Because that's going to make ramifications for other black coaches. Because they're going to always think, you know, they're going to look at, what is his name?
No, they ain't got nothing to do with us.
Well, I understand that, but you know, I understand what you're saying.
FBA. He's not that.
I understand what you're saying. But it will have some kind of way that black coaches will end up paying for this, for his stupidity. I mean, bro, you get a whole prestigious program handed to you and you lose it over pussy. I just can't. I can't fathom that. I can't take pussy down to consumers. I can't take pussy to the bank. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you another one did the same thing. That would literally could have been generational wealth for your family that you just literally fucked yourself out of. So at this point, Sharon, I don't feel sorry for you. You brought this on yourself. You know, you thought you were smarter than the average bear, but
I feel sorry for him.
I don't.
I mean, the reason why I feel sorry for him is here's why.
I do not.
The reason why I feel sorry for him is just one reason and one reason only, right?
He's just gonna make it hard for other coaches.
It's only reason why I feel sorry for him because he wasn't smart enough to think about what he was doing. Because the smartest thing to do is, again, if you're already married, keep it stepping. Why are you giving some side piece or somebody that you don't even know a job?
Well, he know her, you know, in the biblical sense too, you know, professionally and biblically. But
and again, keep it in your pants, and right. You wouldn't have these problems.
You wouldn't have this problem.
So that's why I feel sorry for him because again, some people can't think with the main.
Yeah, they can't think with the head that wear a hat. They think with the other one.
The one with Jimmy on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But again, we're probably going to be in a downward spiral for maybe a year or two. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can make this turnaround. Hopefully this coaching setback doesn't hold us back much longer. Hopefully this blows by fast because again, we can't really afford this to happen, especially that, you know, we just lost to Ohio State for the first time in 4 years. And we ain't trying to go back to that stigma again, right? We do have the lead over them, over the career, and I want to keep it that way. So, Scott Hardy, don't call me no more and talk to me about y'all sorry ass Ohio State when y'all lost to Indiana University in the Big Ten championship. We would have blew out Indiana. We just want you to know that. Again, just because we better than y'all, just know that. Miss Nikki, what's next?
Well, with the firing of the head coach, will Bryce Underwood leave Michigan, or will Tyrone Matthew, former LSU safety, is already on X trying to recruit him to come home to LSU?
I'm hoping he stays.
That's why I said them sure ain't gonna tap that damn portal.
I'm hoping he stays, right, because he got to understand there are some young men who signed to come there because of him, right? So, and this is the one thing I don't like, right? I understand some people sign because you know, it's the love of the coach, right? That is the gimmick for some things. But Michigan has always been a great school, right? And in this case, right, we can really hurt our recruiting, and this could set us all the way back to some days that I'm going to say that's probably going to make it's probably going to make some of my friends cry. But we're probably going back to some Rich Rodriguez days when he went out and recruited shoelaces. Denard Robinson. If y'all remember those years, it's pretty brutal. Games were inconsistent. Quarterbacks got blown up. We didn't have any wide receiver. Defense was kind of all right. But then we didn't have nothing else really to go on. So I hope he doesn't leave. Again, I'm hoping he's more dedicated to the program and the school versus he is to the coach. But I understand what Tyron is doing. Like, we literally poached them back from LSU because he was originally going to sign with LSU. But then we said, hey, we got this NIL deal for you, and it's bigger.
Mm-hmm. So he came where the money was.
The question is that money still bigger than the coach, us losing the coach? And I'm really hoping it is, because again, that's what we did to bring him over there. That's the truth. We literally said, we got this NIL money for you. LSU ain't got jack shit. Unless Tyrann Mathieu gonna pull it out of his retirement money that he just retired from the NFL from. But again, that be allegedly as well. But he did say, come on home. And he did say that on X. Go look it up. And he tagged my man to it. Now we know what Bryce can do. This first year, like I said, it was just he
just needed to
test driving of the Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
You never drive a foreign car, you got to get used to it. You don't just jump in and jump right into it. No, if you ain't never drove a stick before, you're gonna have a problem. And that's what he got into. He went from high school where he was driving an automatic. It was great. He was driving Toyota. He was driving a good old Toyota in high school. Then he got to Michigan. Oh shit, this is a Lambo. Wait, hold on. The stick shift ain't right here. It's right here. Oh, wait. How do I put this in gear? Oh. He started a little bit. That's what happened. But I guarantee you next year if he stays, just like we always say, those who stay will be champions. Guarantee you he will be a champion before he leaves and go to the NFL draft. I'm guaranteeing, and I'll be the first one to say here at AwwDacity Sports. So it's up to Bryce Underwood what he want to do. Do you want to stay and win games? Or do you want to be a puppet experiment for Lane Kiffin?
That's a hell of a choice, but like I said, you know how these kids is, you know.
No, ain't no hell of a choice. Ain't no hell of a choice. Do you want to play games and win, or do you want to be a puppet for Lane Kiffin? Because Lane Kiffin ain't trying to stay either. Because he's always going to go where situation he thinks best fits himself. He just did it to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about, being 10 toes down with your team. Hell, the only reason our coach is gone is because, again, he was 10 toes down with some chick. He was 10 toes down with the side piece instead of being 10 toes down with the team. So, anyway, what's next?
On Mind the Game, aka Game the Mind podcast.
Oh, these bums.
LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul, says that the Lakers need more help. And also he said that he also said that Austin Reeves needs to come off the bench so LeBron can start.
Is you high, man?
When did an agent... Now, shout out to Kenyon Martin, because,
realest nigga in the room.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm with Kenyon. When did an agent have so much to say about who starts and who should come off the bench on the Lakers? Do I rather have 28 to 30 points a night versus 10 to 16 points a night? I'm gonna take that 28 to 30. That's what I'm getting out of Austin Reeves.
Let me take that 20 plus all day.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting out of Austin Reeves. Versus the 10 to 16 points a night you're gonna get off LeBron James. In my opinion, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let you have this. Rich Paul, you need to stay in your place as an agent. Because you don't need to tell nobody to go no goddamn well. Really? You tell them to sign here, and sign here, and make sure them percentages is percentaging at the end of this damn contract. Okay. All you doing is being a mouthpiece for LeBron Ramon James, because see, LeBron Ramon James know he better not say that shit in that damn locker room, or folks gonna be getting knocked the hell out in there, because ain't no way in hell somebody gonna sacrifice that many points per game just for a nigga's ego. And I'm done.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. And for the first time in AwwDacity Sports history, I'm going to say I felt like, one, Rich Paul was just kind of doing his job. It's his job to sell his client. It's his job to get. It's his job.
But his client
to get a client a job.
His client shouldn't be.
Hold on. Let me finish.
His client shouldn't be a BAN.
Damn.
And sit up there and he got you saying it.
Here's the thing, but then he overstepped his boundaries by talking about Austin Reeves.
Yeah, if I'm Austin Reeves,
I get it. You're supposed to be saying the things that, hey, you need LeBron to start. You can just say LeBron needs to start, then LeBron needs to start. But you definitely shouldn't stake the jab at Austin Reeves or saying that the Lakers need to get more help.
Chemistry in the locker room with that bullshit.
The Lakers need to go get more help around LeBron James, because we know this team isn't centered around LeBron James anymore. It's centered around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves.
He's not the 1, not the 2, nor the 3 no more. So now you got Rich Paul trying to make his plea for his client. Bruh.
Now if I'm Austin Reeves, I'm pulling up on LeBron in the locker room like,
hell yeah.
Why you let your man say that shit?
Why you got your man saying that shit? Why you can't say that to me? Is that how you really feel
That's
about
how you feel it? That's how you really feel, my man? About LeBron.
I'm trying to tell you.
You see what I'm saying? If I was
you purposely starting things in the locker room that don't need to be even, facilitated behind your bullshit, because they're phasing your ass out. They didn't renew your contract.
Mm-hmm. They don't care what
you do. So now you want to sit up there and talk bad about the organization, and then you want to sit out there and have
poke at Austin?
Yeah. I'm with, shout out to Kwame Brown. If I'm Kwame Brown, I'm with Kwame Brown. Kwame said, if I'm Austin Reeves, I'm suing Rich Paul fuck ass.
You suing?
Yes. Because now you trying to bring down my value as a player. Like I ain't shit. Like again, would you rather have 28 to 30 points a night versus 10 to 16 points a night?
Again,
a slower game.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in total agreement.
Man, again, Rich Paul, stay in your place.
Again, he did part of his job, but then he stepped over his job. And again, if I'm Austin Reeves, if I'm Luka, I'm pulling up on LeBron.
I chin check LeBron and Rich Paul.
I'm pulling up on LeBron and Rich Paul. Say, yo, what's more? Like, I understand that you was on your man's podcast and all, but what gives you the audacity to say what you said when, again, I'm the one who's down here putting BTA on this court, not you?
Because LeBron feel he shouldn't have to come off the bench. And look, bro, they was rolling with you when you weren't there.
At one point in time, look, every great, when Father Time eventually catches them, And again, this is the problem when you got people like Nick Wright, who says LeBron can play for another freaking 5, 6, 7, 8 years. No, he can't. His body may look like it can happen, but it's not going to happen. At the end of the day, this it was a violation, but then I also feel like he did part of his job. So, because again, as if I was an NBA player and I'm trying to get my next big contract and I wanted to be 50 plus, I'm going to tell you, because I pay you to do a job, I'm going to tell you, go do your job.
Who's going to pay 50 plus for a 41-year-old LeBron James?
Cleveland Cavaliers. I keep trying to tell y'all that.
Cleveland don't want that man back. That'll be his third time being there.
I mean, it isn't like they got to give up any pieces for it, because again, he'll be a free agent. And again, you don't have to pay him 50. He's a free agent. Pay him whatever you want to. And he's going to want to play, because the narcissist in him is going to say he's not going to want to retire right now.
I just think that, you just sent Rich Paul out there to say what you want to say.
I think he sent Rich Paul out there to say something, but not that. I think he overstepped his bounds. And again, I'm never to be the one to defend LeBron James, but this time I see part of what Rich did was right and part of what he did was wrong. Again, if I'm Austin, I'm telling you to go grab Rich so that way you can check Rich in front of me. Like, I need some straightening right now.
LeBron ain't finna do that. They ain't finna do. LeBron don't even talk to them guys in that locker room.
Then JJ.
And JJ just got his $33 million. He not trying to mess up his thing either. But at this point,
ownership. I understand he got a no trade.
Yeah, and that had to piss the ownership of the Lakers off that Rich Paul is sitting up there running his yap like that. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see.
Yeah, Rich would have had.
Rich would have had to see me. Yeah, Rich would have had to see me if I was Austin.
No doubt. We didn't have to catch fade. NikkiC, what's next?
All right, so the Clippers have sent CP3 home during his final season before he retired. Now, the bottom of the league, which is the Charlotte Hornets, won't even sign him after he gave them prime years of his career. What time do you think, or which team do you think will pick him up?
This is disgusting. So I don't want to see him go to Washington, because that will be nasty. I am mad at the strippers because they are 6-19. There's only 3 other teams that are worse than them. That's the Kings, who are also 6-19, the Pelicans, who are 4-22, and the Wizards, who are 3-20. You know where the Hornets are? 7-18. 2 teams in front of them. And the simple fact that the Hornets will not sign him to give him his farewell tour is also disgusting. Like, every Hall of Famer has basically gotten their farewell tour. Especially somebody with Chris Paul caliber stats. They've always gotten it. Shaq got his. Kobe got his. MJ got his. Zeke got his. The list goes on and on. Melo got one. We all know they're going to make sure LaFlop get one.
Oh, Lord. I hope this is last year.
Hell, Udonis Haslem got one.
Yeah, he got his. I think his was year before last.
2-3 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Right? And, well-deserved people. Right? But to see that Chris Paul does not get the opportunity with one of these bottom of the barrel teams to start, it's hurting my feelings. Because again, we're literally talking about the Nets, the Pacers, the Clippers, the Kings, the Pelicans, the Warriors, the Blazers, the Jazz, the Mavericks. Like, The Mavericks can benefit from CP3. So that way, again, 1 year of CP3 there, he can kind of give a little mentorship to the point guards there and help build up a young Cooper Flag, right?
But
He can
you
do the
still
same thing.
got Kyrie there.
But again, he's only going to be there for this year, and then he's gone. Kyrie ain't coming back this season, or it'll be late in the season. And then over there with the Jazz, he can definitely help with Ace Bailey. Like, so I would like for the Hornets to really give him a chance. The Jazz, I don't want to see him in Portland. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Houston's Rockets jersey again and let him go out that way and come off the bench, which would be fine with me. I'd be good with those. So the Rockets, maybe the Warriors. I don't know with the injuries to Steph. Perfect fits feels to me more of Mavericks, Jazz, Hornets, Kings.
Well, you know, all the teams over there on the West, except I want to say a couple of them, like especially in the state of California. Look, all the damn veterans is over there on those teams. I mean, it's teams full of veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, Chris, I hope you land somewhere where you can finish your farewell tour. I mean, it's just very unfair that this happened to you, or because of politics.
The head coach and his
Yeah,
bullshit.
Ty Lue and his mess. But I just hope that you land somewhere before this year is over with, so you can have that opportunity to have that farewell tour because it's due to you.
Definitely. What's next?
Well, somebody had to do it. And it was the San Antonio Spurs who put an end to the Thunder's 16-game win streak. Did you see this coming? And do you have an honest shot, or do they have an honest shot at repeating the NBA championship? But will it be by beat the record of the Chicago Bulls 7-2, 72-10, or Golden State 73-9? And we're talking about OKC.
So one, thank you Spurs for getting people to understand that OKC, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are him. No, I do not think they're going to catch the Golden State Warriors 73-9 win-loss record, and no, I do not think they're going to catch the Chicago Bulls 73-10 team.
Because you got to come through Detroit.
Because you definitely, hopefully, possibility got to come and see us.
You got to come through Detroit. Now, San Antonio, now let me tell you something. That game was good. That was probably, like we had talked earlier, one of the best officiated games this year.
Absolutely.
By the NBA refs. I must say, now I'm gonna give them their flowers and give them a round of applause for that, because they had to be on point with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a lot on the line, and we didn't want no BS.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the NBA for officiating last night. That was better than usual. So
that was definitely one of the better games. As you can see, we've been having real problems with the officiating, but it be what it be. But Wemby played limited in this game, limited minutes. But again, I just knew when he came back, it was going to be a difference maker. It's just good for some, because one, I didn't want OKC to win or make it to the Cup Finals. For here's why, right? I didn't want people to say, "Oh, they won the finals, they won the cup, Shai's the greatest," yada 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 yada. Tired of hearing this shit already. I'm already tired of it. Oh, and guess what? They do play Detroit. They play Detroit on February 25th. So we got one game with them. with the Thunder.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be our test to the Pistons. Because we
Mm-hmm.
got everybody from the Pistons to match someone on OKC.
So, and then we play them again on the 30th of March. Okay. So we got 2 games with them. We are not afraid of these boys. Again, we lined up again 14, 15 deep, to the point where we're not really scared of OKC. But the good thing is they are going to be the team to beat, unfortunately. Right? I don't see Denver as a true threat.
Me either.
Again, things fade, things happen. I just don't see them as the true threat that they were before. Especially knowing that they had lost again some games, especially how how the Thunder did them. So I'm not predicting that they're going to be able to make a true threat to them. I think any threat that's going to come is going to be from the Spurs, or it's going to be from the Pistons. That's what I see was going to happen. So again, if anybody's who's going to ruin the repeat for the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs or the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, because you got to come through Detroit this year. I mean,
right. But back to this game last night. I mean, it was one of the great games, like we said. The Spurs, who are 18-7. Again, Wemby just came back from an injury, played limited minutes, and the Spurs Thunder are 24-2. Right. So, gosh, this is crazy. Let's see what happened. So De'Aaron Fox played for the Spurs 37 minutes. He scored 22 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 for 7 from 3. Whoa, it was lighting it up from 3-point
that's
range.
why I said Fox had that long gun out.
Okay. With 1
like
block
it
and
was
2
nobody's
steals.
business.
Stephon Castle played again. I told everybody, watch out for Stephon Castle, man. This dude is that guy, right? Played 34 minutes. Also scored 22 points. Damn. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 from 16 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. No blocks, no steals, but 6 turnovers. Whoa, that's big. That's big. 6 turnovers, Stephon. We got to tighten that up. And then again, look, we got D. Vassalli, who also played 32 minutes. He also put up 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Let's see what their first round pick, Champagnie, did in Harper, and that was in this year's draft class. Let's see what they did. So Champagnie did play 27 minutes, 3 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Harper played 25 minutes, so they're getting some run. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And then Victor played 21 minutes and put up 22 points. Damn, what's up with the 22 boys? Everybody putting up 22. Oh, Sochan didn't play last night. Wow, I wonder what happened. They got Liddy Waters over here? Okay. So that's how they were able to come back and put up that 111. Okay, they had people, 1, 2, 3, 4 people who put up 22 points. I like that. Let's see what the Thunder did. So you had Shai Gilgeous, of course, as always, leading the charge, 37 minutes, 29 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Shot 1 for 7 for 3. That's odd. He only shot 4 free throws, too, which is also odd. Chet Holmgren shot the most free throws with 12. That's the difference maker. That's what happened. Chet got to the line versus Shai. Okay. Also, it's looking like the Thunder shot 37 threes. They only made 9. The Spurs shot 42 threes and made 13. Damn, do you know back in the day you would even see these many threes shot in the game?
Right.
You might seen 10 or 11 max in the game, but 40? Never. Let's see. Who won the turnover battle? 19-14. That's crazy. So this was why this game feels the way it feels, right? And why the game was so close, right? 23 personal fouls versus 25. Blocks were even. Assists were even. Turnovers were basically even. It was just one of those games. And again, they let them play. Hartenstein went and played 20 minutes, played 10 points, put up 10 points, 9 rebounds, 1 block, 1 assist. Jay Williams played 33 minutes, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. And of course, Chet Holmgren, who played 30 minutes, 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 0 assists. That's weird for Chet. Chet didn't get a didn't get a single assist? Okay. But anyway, now welcome back to Earth, OKC. Your head has been deflated. We'll catch you back around the other way.
Yeah, that alien came and tapped on their head.
The alien said, "Come here." Tapped you right on your head, didn't it? I know it hurt it. Anyways, what's next, Miss Nikki?
All right, so our last topic will be your Detroit Pistons played the Atlanta Hawks again on Friday and blew them out of the water with 142 to 115. Before you give your take on the game, go ahead and play the song.
I love it when I get it. Told y'all, every time these teams win, we playing the song. Guess what we finna do? Finna play the song.
Shout out G-Mac Cash.
Shout out to G-Mac Cash. Catch these dubs. You know why? Because I told y'all, every time we win, y'all finna get this. Because you know why?
You know the Pistons won again.
You know the Pistons won again. Right, yeah. Look, told y'all. We finna, at the beginning of the season, my prediction was 2 through 5. I had to switch my prediction one more time. Final time I'm predicting. Mid-season prediction before the All-Star break, and this is going to be final. That prediction is going to be the Detroit Pistons will only land in seeds 1 through 3.
Okay. On AwwDacity Sports, you heard it here
you
first.
You just seen how my boy J.D. Bickerstaff pulled the entire starting lineup in last Friday and played the whole bench for the entire fourth quarter. Cade didn't even play, and we blew out the Atlanta Hawks.
Sure did. From the end of the third quarter all the way to the end of the game.
When we have players that is down, we can literally go deep into our bench and not have to worry because we are literally 12, 13 players deep. So when I say I'm making this prediction now, 1 through 3, with the prediction that we can literally go to the finals with the potential to win, absolutely, I got this much trust in this Pistons team. Told y'all before, just let it wait. As you see, Jaden Ivey came back Friday night.
He looks really good.
He got his legs back. He's trusting his game now, so he's back to being old Ivy the way he was. So that second unit is finna be crazy sick because you got to think it's finna be so dynamic. You're gonna not know who to guard because you're gonna have Chaz. You got Daenerys Jenkins. You're gonna have Ivy. Who are you gonna stop? They all can shoot. Who are you gonna stop? You're gonna have to pick somebody. Then you got Karras, who again get you buckets, drive to the lane. We got Stu, who's rolling the paint for us, so that he's going to be the backup. He's going to be our center to anchor that second team. It's going to be rough for it. It's going to be Detroit basketball is back, guys. Told y'all before. They have embodied and embraced every bit of that bad boy Piston era and that 04 go to work era. They put both of them together, and this is what you got. Cade Cunningham is playing at the all-star level that he was at last year and is elevating. Jalen Duren is already finna be on all-star level this year, right? Again, Sir Thompson is making his way. He's next on the rise. But again, we got players like Daenerys Jenkins, who we just signed on a 2-way contract. Again, where'd he come from? The G League.
Daenerys be balling.
And then we got the right amount of vets. And again, I thought I really had some concerns when we lost Tim Hardaway, right? I thought we was going to have some problems. I thought we was going to have some problems when we lost Malik.
No, but those boys stepped up because they want to play.
And it doesn't look like we lost a step. It looks like gained steps.
Yeah, we gained some steps.
So Shout out to my Pistons, man. Keep up the good work, man. You know what? Let me just one more time from my dog, because again, get them dubs over with the Pistons, dog. You know, the Pistons won again. Never talk shit about my dog. We go bust y'all ass every time. Anyway.
But before we sign out today,
okay,
don't you got one more song to play?
I absolutely do. So, for y'all who don't know, my man G Mac Cash is genius. I already played y'all about my lines, right? Because again, I'm gonna end up playing that next week. You already heard me play Pistons won again. I think y'all might have missed me during baseball season when I played the Tigers won again. But then there's just one team that's missing. Guess what? You damn right he did it. And they won last night, so you know what I'm finna do, right?
Hey, you know the Red Wings won again. You know the Red Wings won again. Come on. You know the Red Wings won again. Let's go. Because all we do is fucking win. Come on. You know the Red Wings won again, bitch.
Look, told y'all. Told y'all. Y'all get these songs every time, man. Y'all just don't understand how much I love these songs. Every time my teams win, I play these songs. Just for a little clip it just for myself. But anyways, that's the end of the show. I appreciate you guys so much. This is your boy J2DaR signing out. We're here with Miss NikkiC.
What up, y'all?
And we'll catch y'all at the next episode.
Peace.